I promise this is related and it'll make sense in a second. Just in case anybody was thinking that like we were prepared and ready and it was gonna go fine and easy for Miles of Mayhem, that's not what's happening. Let's talk about the good things first. The good thing is, that's really exciting to me, is we have broken open somebody else's skills. As in, I reached out to a guy. I actually talked to him a couple years ago. I don't know if I'm at liberty to use his name, but anyways, he's like a tuner guy. He knows what he's doing and that kind of thing. And he's also an AMC Jeep guy. And finding somebody who was both of those things, well, it took some time, but we're really excited. He's like equally as excited to be doing the thing, and he wrote us a tune for this thing. And like we spent 2 hours on the phone just talking about it, and he explained the Holly to me and laptop tuning, and like I got lots to learn. But in the meantime, he's running a tune for this thing, and he's on the program as far as like, yeah, let's make your Jeep fast. So that's really exciting and cool. The part that is less exciting and cool is 3rd year running, we are having transmission issues 2 days before Miles of Mayhem. By 2 days, I think we have 4 days right now, but I expect it'll be 2 days before we get it right. Basically, it won't wide open throttle into 3rd. Like if you're trying to manually shift it, it don't go. Something else happens entirely, and I'm not even exactly sure what happens. If it's neutraline or what the story is, but it's not happy. And the other thing that it's doing is it sort of can't make up its mind whether it wants to be in 2nd gear or 3rd gear when you're cruising. And that's not working out very good. Oh, that was uncomfortable. Transmission update number 1. Inside the transmission there is one electrical component called the downshift solenoid or the detent switch or whatever. Basically, and correct me if I'm wrong or ignore me if I'm wrong or take it at face value and hope that I'm right. But basically, when you put your foot to the floor, there's this switch underneath the gas pedal or in front of the gas pedal or however your leverage works, and it moves over. That sends power down to the transmission detent or downshift solenoid, and that makes the transmission go from 3rd gear to 2nd gear. If that's not there, you don't have downshift. Now, since I'm having other issues, and there's, from what I could YouTube, other symptoms and effects that will happen should the actual solenoid in the transmission fail. But when I ran power to it, I could hear it clicking. I know it was in one piece when I put it in, so I was like, well, it's probably fine. So I crawled underneath, and I looked at this switch. Now, my gas pedal is this far away from this switch, and there is no world in which it has ever touched this switch without some sort of bushing that is not there anymore. So this was never working, last transmission or this transmission or who knows since when. So I started looking for a bushing. 3/8 sockets fit perfect, and they have hardly any wobble, and they're round, so that's an option. However, I was all the way up to 15/16, and I didn't have one that fit. Which brings us to this. I know it's a piece of wood, and it's not that good, but it is sort of round, and has exactly the right size hole in it, because I drilled the right size hole in it. So this is what's going in there. This, I believe, will make it so that this switch does something. And then we'll try the transmission again and see what happens. We've made our changes. I'm not totally happy with how my piece of wood fits in there. I'd actually like to be a little bit bigger, but I don't have a hole saw that is a little bit bigger. I have a hole saw that's a lot bit bigger. It does work, it's pretty much like full throttle before it clicks, so we'll see if it's okay or not. Meanwhile, we were also working on this. This is like graphs and things. We got revision number 2 from the tuner, so we're working on that. It looks like this. I don't exactly know what to tell you other than that. He's changed some things. He's made the graphs bigger. Makes it good for more boost. He explained it to me really clearly, and I have an idea of what's going on. But, you know, truth be told, pretty amateur hour about that stuff. So we're going to try and keep learning on that. And you know, that's all we can do. Meanwhile, we're gonna go for a drive and see if we can get some shifts out of it. And on that drive, we're gonna pick up our tires and get our slicks swapped onto the wheels so we, you know, have a set of slicks. You recognize these wheels, right? Those wheels probably look familiar to you. And so do those wheels. And the tires. Those were on the Dakota. So we're stealing the tires back, which were originally on this, and we're putting them on those wheels. Which is what we've always done at Miles Mayhem, is run those wheels with these tires. But we just run them all week. I can't... Changing 4 tires, that's... Well, like everybody else does it, but I don't. Like tons of guys change all 4 tires at every stop, but we're just not after that level of performance, I guess. Just got back from test drive number 1. I hadn't recorded it, which is too bad because it kind of went like this. Got home though. She saw 235 degrees, and I tell you, it was incredible how slow it overheated. Like, had I had my normal gauges up, I would have had a voltmeter and would have known right away, but as it was, I didn't. It gave me minutes and minutes. Like, I was able to drive all the way home with no belt on it. And it only got to 235. Like, that's, man, was that forgiving. Tell you, no thermostat. So it just sort of circulates via hot to the top and cold to the bottom. That was pretty effective. Anyways, we're gonna toss the belt back on. We're gonna flush the cooling system and throw the high flow water pump on it, because there's one less thing to think about. And right now I would like one less thing to think about. So we're just gonna take care of that post haste. Oh, we flushed it till it ran clear, and now we're just draining it all out. And once it's empty, we'll back up a hair so we're not standing in water, and then we'll change the water pump. In the meantime, I've got something interesting to show you. This right here, this is not a dress. This is the taxi cab seat cover. Now this has been recommended to me by Rich Guido and Stace Kirsten, and this is the way to do drag and drive without sweating so much. I looked long and hard to find one that was blue. You wouldn't believe how hard it was. Like, it was 5-6 clicks on Amazon before I found one. Took 8-9 minutes maybe. And it's a funny shape, but I think it'll cover the basics. Well, I'll be honest. Like, I kind of want to go to India or somewhere where I can get a good one of these. Because it's the right idea, but boy, it's small. This one's not as bad, despite being a slightly different color than shown on pictures. But yeah, that's not great. They're very comfortable, I'll say that about them. Water pump discussion. This is the old one. It looks like this, and it's made out of cast steel or iron, or I don't honestly know the difference, but there is a difference. This is the new one, and it's got a blue impeller wheel, and it's made out of aluminum, and it says high flow. It's basically just like a generic aluminum housing that a company called Flow Cooler takes, and they put their fancy wheel in and supposedly tighten up the tolerances and make it flow more water. So, like, we're putting it in. If nothing else, at least we're saving a couple pounds right off the nose, which it doesn't matter to us at all. But hey, it's shiny and it's new, and we're putting it on. We're not even gonna paint it because I don't have any of the color paint left. And that's everything I had to pull out to get to it. So, you know, now you've seen it all. So we're taking a walk. Not because the Jeep's broke down. Well, the Jeep is broke down, but that's not why we're walking. We did get the Jeep back together. Water pumps in, cleaned out the rad, made it all nice and just like new. Flushed it, everything. And it does not run any cooler than it did before. So that was time and money well spent. Apparently we need to maybe focus on bigger fan, something like that. But on that drive, We also discovered that we still have no wide open shifts. None. Like we don't get 1-2, we don't get 2-3. It just doesn't work. Whether you're shifting it manually or just in drive, it doesn't shift. So I'm not sure what to do other than go for a walk with the dogs for a minute. See if I can figure out what to do. Like, we don't have a spare trans. We have spare trans parts though. And I did boot scoot into the city and pick up a new detent solenoid, which it said it could be that if it was stuck in the wrong position. And I also picked up a new accumulator. Modulator. Anyways, I picked one of those up. I don't know if it will do anything, because I don't think it does anything at wide open throttle shifts, and also when I checked it, it seems like it's working fine, albeit cranked like all the way in, so that could be a bit of a problem, but anyways, we don't know. Other than that, like, we can steal parts out of the other transmission, I guess. Like, my thought right now is I'll just pull the whole valve body out and put it into the other trans and see what happens. Like, just swap all the parts that I have to swap, maybe even a governor, and see what happens. And that's my best idea at this point in time, because it will go down the road, but it won't go down the racetrack like this. Like, it is so unhappy. Not like you. Hey Luna, you're pretty happy, aren't you? Come here, everybody wants to see you. Stop running away from me. Why are you running away? Come here, look at my face. Oh, I just ran over all the bolts. Great, perfect. Now, I know I haven't been showing you guys as much as I would like to, just due to like time constraints here. I'm really feeling the push, you know, because today is Wednesday. We have to be at test and tune on Sunday, which, like, despite the fact that I'm still taking the transmission apart right before Miles of Mayhem, this is actually better shape than we've ever been before. Now, I don't know what we're gonna find under here, but it is gonna determine how we proceed. On the plus side, the fluid is still red, so that's good. That much out. Okay. Alright, this is, yeah, it's in its home. This wire is hooked up. The solenoid's not laying in the bottom, so that's a good start. Now, bearing in mind, I don't really know what I'm talking about here. Like, there is some glitter. Okay, there's no question there. But, like, I seen way worse in transmissions that were working just fine. Oh yeah, like there's some junk in there, but there's no big hard parts, I don't think. Don't get me wrong, I'd be more happier if it was flawlessly clean, but I don't see game over there. Maybe some people would, but I don't. Well, we have our first update, and possibly good news. This right here, this is the modulator valve. It's what that modulator pushes on. It's supposed to move around. It was stuck. Like, I had to pull it out with a pair of pliers. So that's a recipe for things not shifting correctly, because this has a lot to do with shifting. That's problem number 1 found. Okay, now we're here. And this is the other thing we're going to change while we're here. This is called a detent switch, or a kickdown solenoid, or it's got some other words for it. But anyways, this is attached to your throttle pedal, and when you go foot to the floor, it energizes and says, hey, don't shift via the vacuum modulator. I think that's correct. Anyways, it said if it's loose, because it's normally like in an up position, and when you energize it, the valve comes down. If it's loose or broken in any way, then it can cause a no shift position too. So we're gonna change it out. We don't know if it worked anyways, but it's not loose. If we're honest, it's probably fine, but we'll swap it out anyways. This is the new one that does the same thing. It's kind of cool because you can actually see it. So this coil would energize, and this little crossbar falls down, and then there's a little ball that goes down, and that allows the oil to go through here and dump. And that's all there is to it. All right, we're at component number 3 that we're looking at. It's, on the easy list. It's right here. This is called a governor. And it's got a little valve. You see there where it's sort of the hole's half covered up? The part that's covering half of it is the valve. Now these little flyweights, when they spin, they pop open like that, and they're meant to push that valve upwards. However, you'll notice when I close them, nothing changes. And oh, there it finally moved. Oh, we just freed it up. It was stuck before, I promise. We have another one. We're gonna slip the other one in if it's the same. We really gotta stop meeting this way. So, what we're doing right now, we're gonna pull the big pan off, gonna pull this valve body, we're gonna put it into that Jeep. Because despite the fact that we found a couple of the issues with the stuck modulator valve and the governor that looks suspect, we still don't have full manual gear command. We're running out of diagnosis time. So we're gonna try valve body, go from there. Okay, valve body's off, plate's off, and all the balls are back in their homes. Now, we just gotta pull the one off this, which is a little bit more frustrating because, you're underneath of it, and the balls are gonna go. It's the way it is. Okay, here's our old separator plate with all the balls still intact. I didn't even knock them over. And this is our older separator plate with a new gasket and all the balls put where they're supposed to be. The older valve body and the old valve body. Man, I hope this works. Hey buddy, how's it going, Elvis? You a good boy? Yeah, you're a good feller. Incidentally, prior to tearing the old transmission apart to steal guts out of it, I did talk to JH for a minute. His suggestion was the same as his suggestion when I started this project, which is just advice I should have taken. He said, put a manual valve body and a brake in it. But, guy didn't really want to spend the extra money that it cost, and currently I don't have the time to do that because it's disassembly of the transmission. If I would have done that though, just like my buddy Stace always says, just buy once, cry once, man. No, I couldn't listen to that advice, could I? You were hoping for a little bit of attention too, Luna Bear? Were you? Are you a good girl too? You didn't want to be ignored all day, did you? You're a good girl. Yeah. Want to shake? Do you want to shake a hand? Shake a paw. Nope. You always stiff me for handshakes, hey? As soon as the camera's off, you'll shake. Well, everything's back together. Got a pan on it. We dumped some oil in it. Of course, we didn't have enough oil, so now I'm gonna go get some more oil. But other than that, it's ready to try again. We'll cross our fingers that goes well. We're going for a drive! Let's see what happens. definitely have a reverse. And we definitely have a forward. Now we see if they actually work. And reverse hits hard. Moving. That's, like, we need a little more than just moving for this to be successful, but we'll take what we can get right now. That's not first gear, I don't think. It's okay, we didn't have an accident, it went into first gear like it's supposed to do, which I'm not convinced it did before. Try and manually shift and see if it goes through the gears. Tell you something funny, at least. That leak that I just showed you, there's a corner of the pan that clearly just wasn't flat because the bolts were all tight. Admittedly, I didn't change the gasket because that one was glued on there. I was at that point in the day where you're frustrated. It doesn't leak anymore. I hit it like a caveman with a hammer and a punch, and it no longer leaks, not a drop. Yeah, so that's the good thing of the day. The bad news is we still don't have a 1-2 shift. But on the plus side, unless you do it manually, you also don't have a 2-1 shift. So driving around like it leaves in second gear, which isn't great. It is drivable though. A little sluggish. I don't know. We'll think about it for a minute. It is Friday morning. And we go to Miles Mayhem on Sunday. I'll tell you where we're at. We've got a Jeep that runs okay. Matter of fact, it's run better than it ever has, thanks to our tuner Greg, which, by the way, I finally got permission. By finally got, I mean I asked. Got permission to use his name. His name's Greg. He runs a Facebook page called Cherokee Chief S, or I'll post it. I can't remember. I'm not good at remembering things always. But anyways, he runs a Facebook page. Now, there's no question I could have went anywhere local for good tuners, okay? They are within my reach. There's lots that are highly recommended, very capable guys to tune this thing. But I really wanted to find somebody who'd maybe pushed an AMC engine before. It just so happens Greg's the guy who's pushed an AMC engine a little bit. And a lot of it. I mean, somewhere to the tune of 30 plus PSI of boost. And I don't know if that one lasted or not, but he's tried it anyways. So that was sort of my logic. And also, he's just a genuine nice guy. Like, he's very willing to try and work with me on this. And that's not always easy to find in the modern world. So I treasure that and plan to continue using that as much as I can. Meanwhile, he would like another tune, or rather another log. So I'm going to take this thing for another drive. What we're working on is trying to make it build boost a little quicker. We're going to go give him a couple launches while it's in, like, while we have it. We don't know if it'll shift to second because it doesn't seem to. And then we'll come back and we'll go from there. Get him his tune. That's priority one right now. That's all we're gonna worry about is take this thing for a drive, get him a tune. Is not happy about life at all. Okay, first step here. We're gonna just punch it right off idle in drive. That's definitely leaving in second. And sort of like midway through there was sort of a thump sound. I don't like that at all. Okay, now we'll try first gear. Okay, locked into first, manually shifting. Oh, we're not happy there. It's like the brakes are on. And then it released. What the heck is going on there? Now we're free. All right, well, let's try this. There's the first gear leave. No shift to second. Transmission rebuild. I will be the first one to say I did something wrong, which is too bad. But you know, I don't know, there was supposed to be something there, but there wasn't when I asked my brain to come up with something clever to say. I'm going to drop the pan one more time, see if it's full of junk, swap the filter. We're going to bump the pressure up in the pump. We'll pull the governor back out, see if there's anything we can do with it. But I think what's happened is something's broke inside the transmission. I think that's what happened. I'm not positive of that, but I think something's broke. I reviewed some old footage, and definitely when I first put it in, I had first gear and I had shifts. So, like, I can look at that as a win. But the reality is this transmission rebuild was a bit of a failure thus far. And I'm okay with failure, because, like, I will have learned something. When I take it back apart and figure out what happened, I will learn something. Well, folks, I guess it just isn't the Cherokee's year. We don't have a little sludge in there. We got chunks and bits. And yeah, if it was the middle of the week, we'd put a fresh filter in, put some oil in it, and attempt to carry on, but the week hasn't even started yet, which gives us opportunity for plan B. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very sad about this situation, but I already took, half an hour and went and cried in the field by myself for a while. Now I'm over it, and now we're moving on to the next thing, and that is, let's get plan B ready, and we're going that route. And if we're honest, it'll probably be a much more relaxed week because of it. Step number 1 is we got to get some street tires on that thing, because the weather's forecasting rain all week, and I'm not going 40 miles an hour on ET drag radials all week, because we can't go faster in the rain. So we got to go get some street tires. That's step numero uno. Sorry, old Jeep. You'll make it next year. You already got to go twice, alright? Sometimes that's all you get in life. That's more than most cars have ever got. I tried. I really did.
That car used to have those wheels. Now it doesn't.
They're really old, but they are also really new. So that should be fine, right? Where's the date code on them? Well, the good news is it says 45.4, which means it was the last part of 2004, probably. Yeah, that's way better. Perfect. Well, if we're honest, between my wife and CJ the tire guy, I owe some favors now, but on a Friday afternoon, we got some tires swapped around, and now we got slicks for the old car. And that's not so bad, We got 2 stickies that we're gonna go steal off the Dakota. We got the street tires just swapped over. Then we got our spare stickies just on wheels. I don't think they'll actually fit on the car, but they're on wheels, so they're useful for somebody. And, that's where we're at. I'm really appreciative to my lovely wife for, let's just say, squeezing me in very last minute. As in, I asked and then brought the tires over with no appointment. So that was pretty good. Pretty kind of her. Well, folks, what you're looking at here is a bona fide 1964 Plymouth Savoy. And it's going on miles Mayhem. For those of you who are here for the Jeep show, well, it didn't make it. That's all there is to it. We'll do better next time. I'm sorry if you're disappointed, but I promise I'm more disappointed than you are. For all the people that helped me out trying to make the Jeep work, thank you. Too bad we failed. But I really appreciate your help anyways. Like it was really awesome how many people offered what they could, essentially. We didn't make it, but that's just the way it is. And we're just not gonna dwell on that anymore. We're moving on to this. Now this, in order to go to Miles Mayhem, this needs a collector gasket because we got a leak. We need to swap the street tires back on because those are the most hideous looking wheels this car has ever had. And it's had some bad wheel choices over the years. Those are the worst. We have to run slicks. They're the wheels we have that fit the car. That's how it is this week. But at least on the street, we can have nice wheels on it that match the fronts. So that I'd like to do. Other than that, it's ready to roll. We'll maybe do an oil change, check the fluids, give it a nut and bolt check, but nothing major happening here. So I'll come back for you, old girl, I promise.